I am Dr. W.P. Gulzar from Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. Today we are going to discuss some physical properties of first transition series element. Already we have discussed some physical properties, and today we are going to discuss the oxidations, that is the color of transition metal ions, and after that catalytic properties, and also we are going to discuss the formation of alloy, that is the transition metal ion form the alloy with the other metal ions, and also some formation of interstitial compounds, and here all these properties we are going to discuss in today's presentation. Today's topic is transition and inner transition element, chapter number 8 of the State Board of Chemistry, and here today we are going to discuss the different parts, that is physical properties of the first transition series element, in which first is the color, then catalytic properties, formation of interstitial compound, and some properties of interstitial compound, and formation of alloy. And here as we know, already we have discussed some physical properties of the first transition series element, that is transition element, and here these remaining properties, color, catalytic properties, and formation of alloy, and formation of interstitial compound, today that we are going to discuss. So first part is the color. As we know, there are different types of color, and generally the transition metal ion form different types of color, and here is shown different colors are shown here. Here is the see the different colors have different wavelength. In nanometer it is shown orange color, red color, so different colors have different wavelength in nanometer is shown here, and this is the table that this table shows the here metal ion of the first transition series, and here is the number of d electrons, and here unpaired electron position in the orbital, and these are the colors. If the metal ions have 0 unpaired electron or completely filled, in that case the that metal ion is colorless. So see, when there is a 0 unpaired electron, it is colorless, but when they contain one or more unpaired electron, then they show the color. Different colors are there depending upon the nature of the metal ion. So compound of the transition element are generally colored, and we can say that most of the compound of transition metal are colored. This is in contrast to the compound of S and P block element, which are generally white. The color of the compounds of transition metal may be due to the presence of incomplete d subshell, and the transition metal ion containing the unpaired electrons can be easily promoted from one energy level to another energy level within the same d subshell. The amount of energy required to excite the sum of the electron to the higher energy state within the same d subshell correspond to the energy of certain color of visible light, and therefore when white light falls on the transition metal compound, some of its energy corresponding to the certain color is absorbed, causing excitation of d electron. The excess of other color constituting white light are transmitted and compound appear colored. The observed color of the substance is always complementary color of the color which is absorbed by the substance. The absorbed and the transmitted color is there. So transmitted is the color. As we know that there are three principles of color, and first principle is that when the white light or the when white light falls on the substance, and that substance absorb all the radiation falling on it, in that case substance appeared black, that is we can say a black body radiation. Second principle is that when white light is falls on the substance, and substance transmit all the radiation falling on it, in that case substance appeared white. And third principle is that when the white light is falling on the substance, and the substance absorb some part of the radiation and some part are reflected, and the color which is reflected by the substance is the color of that material, and that is why we that all trees are looking green, because that trees absorb, the tree or the leaves of the tree absorb all the color except green color. Green color they are reflecting, therefore our retina catch that green color, reflected color of the tree, and therefore we see this is the greening color. The car, for example, car is a red color, blue color, like that, green color. So what is it appears, because that material absorb all the color except red color, therefore it appears red. So in this way there are three principles of the color in constitution, and here transition metal ions are generally colored because of the presence of one or more unpaired electron. And again there is a DD transition. DD transition means there is a that is the one d electron. There are 5 d orbitals, and they are grouped into two set. One is a that is the T2G and EG set. So that is the ds divide dz, one set of orbital, and second is the d square y square and dz square, other set of orbital. So from lower energy d orbital to other higher energy d orbital, electron get excited, and in that case this is known as DD transition, promotion of electron from lower energy orbital to higher energy orbital within the same d orbital. So this stage is called DD transition, and whenever there is a DD transition, then the substance, in that case that metal ion, is showing the color. So here this is the table. We show different color of metal ion. So scandium 3 plus have 0, because scandium have 3 electrons in the outermost shell, all the 3 electron lost, and therefore number of unpaired electrons are 0, and here therefore it is colorless. But in case of titanium having 4 electron, out of that 3 electron lost and 1 electron is left, so 1 unpaired electron is there, so it appears purple. So in the same way other metal ions show color. So we can say that example here, hydrated cupric compound absorb radiation corresponding to the red light, and transmitted color is the greenish blue, and therefore this is the complementary color to the red color, and therefore cupric compound, that is copper cupric compound, have greenish blue color. And some color of some transition metal ion shown in this table, and it is noted that transition metal ion containing completely filled d orbital, that is D10 configuration, like zinc 2 plus, cadmium 2 plus, or Ag2 plus, copper plus 1 are the generally white, because they have completely filled d orbital. And example here we can say that ZnCl2 are the examples. ZnCl2 zinc, in which zinc have 2 plus charge, and therefore it appears white. And also we can say that here in case of transition metal compound, the electron go from lower to higher energy level within the same d subshell after absorbing energy from white light. It has been shown that in the case of compound of transition element, the energy of 5d orbital in the same subshell does not remain equal, and therefore these d orbitals are split up into two different energy levels. Some of the orbitals have less energy, while some other have more energy. This is known as crystal field splitting. So in case of crystal field splitting, 5d orbitals are split up into two sets. One is T2G set and second is EG set. And here the color of transition metal ion is there when electron get promoted from d orbital of lower energy to the d orbital of higher energy. So this is also called DD transition, and they are showing color, and mainly the D of here color of transition metal ion are mainly related to the presence of d orbital here, unpaired electron in d orbital. These are the 4 important points: presence of unpaired d electron, and also, as we have seen, DD transition, promotion of electron from lower d orbital to higher d orbital, and nature of ligand attached to the metal ion. What is the nature of ligand? Strong field, weak field, depending upon the nature of ligand attached to the metal ion in the complex. And number 4 is the geometry of the complex formed by the metal ion. So in case of geometry of complex, what is the generally complex of tetrahedral, octahedral, square planar geometry, and so here, so depending upon these are the 4 points where the color of transition metal ions are related to these 4 points. So in short, we can say that when there is a metal ion have one or more unpaired electrons show color. If there is a DD transition, that is transition from one d orbital to other d orbital, which is called DD transition, is there, then it will also show color. And also color depend upon the nature of ligand and also the geometry of the complex. And here that is the color of transition metal ion also depend upon the geometry and nature of the ligand. And it is for example, here one example we can give here, that cobalt chloride is dissolved in water, it forms pink color solution. Whenever we dissolve the cobalt salt or cobalt chloride, when dissolved in the water, it forms the pink solution of the complex, and the complex is hexa echo cobalt 2 plus complex, which has octahedral geometry, because and the coordination number is 6. This is the metal ion and water is the ligand, and this is the 6 is the coordination number. So it forms octahedral geometry. But when this solution is treated with HCl, then it changes into deep blue color. It means that this is because the formation of another complex which is represented as COCl4. So this is tetrachlorocobalt 2 complex, so which has a tetrahedral structure. So this complex is octahedral because coordination number is 6. This complex is having coordination number 4, therefore it is a tetrahedral geometry. So see, now the same compound is there, but geometry are different, but and the metal line is same, but cobalt 2 plus in both the case, cobalt 2 plus, cobalt 2 plus, metal line is same in both the complex. This is octahedral, this is tetrahedral, and but the nature of ligands are different. Here water is the ligand, here Cl chloro group is the chlorine is the ligand. So ligands are different, geometry are different, therefore they also show different color. In case of first, pink colors, in case of second, deep blue color. So we can say that color of transition metal ion also related to the nature of ligand and the geometry of the complex. So these are the 4 important points in case of color. So generally we can say that first transition series element and other transition element also have strong tendency to form color, and their metal ions also have the color, and formation of complex, all the complex formed are also colored. So this is the first property which is important related to transition metal ions. So this is the one of the most important characteristics of the transition metal ion. So this is the one of the important property related to the transition metal ion. So color is the important part of the transition metal ion. And after this now another property of the transition, they act as a catalytic properties. So in case of transition element, most of the transition elements show catalytic properties. And what is the catalyst? As we know, catalyst is a substance which is added during the reaction, and generally the catalyst increases the rate of reaction. So it is used to increase or to start the reaction. So it is a substance which increases the rate of reaction, and so in the presence of catalyst the reaction take place very fast. As we know that some reactions are there which cannot start, but now addition of reaction, the reaction can start fast. So in this way that catalyst is very important during the chemical reaction, and many transition metal and their compounds act as a good catalyst for various reactions. And out of these, iron, cobalt, nickel, palladium, platinum, chromium, all these are the very common metal ions which act as a catalyst. And some examples are shown here. And also in this case of catalysis, homogeneous catalysis reaction, and in case of homogeneous catalysis, metal ion participate by forming unstable intermediate. In case of heterogeneous catalysis reaction, the metal provides a surface for reactant to react. So these are the two types of catalysis: homogeneous catalysis and heterogeneous catalysis. And also here homogeneous catalyst is that the product and the reactant have the catalyst and the reactant have the same phase, and in case of heterogeneous catalysis they have the different phases, that is solid liquid like that. Okay, so here homogeneous means same gas or the liquid or solid. And here these two types of catalysis are there, homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysis. And some examples of these catalysts which are used in the chemical reactions are given here. Examples: one is iron molybdenum is used as a catalyst in the synthesis. So this is the iron molybdenum, and it is used as a catalyst in the synthesis of ammonia by the Haber's process. So this is the iron molybdenum is used as a catalyst. Nickel is also used as a hydrogenation reaction in organic chemistry. So whenever the hydrogenation reaction is taking place, nickel is used as a catalyst. Vanadium pentoxide is used as a used for the conversion of SO2 to SO3, that is sulfur dioxide converted to the sulfur trioxide, and this is the process which is known as contact process for the manufacture of sulfuric acid. So these are the three. And another number 4, manganese oxide MnO2 is also used as a catalyst in the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide solution. And number 5 is the cobalt salt catalyze the decomposition of bleaching powder. And cobalt thorium alloy is used as a Fischer-Tropsch process in the synthesis of gasoline. Carbon dioxide and hydrogen are formed by the reaction of carbon monoxide and the steam at 400 degrees Celsius temperature with iron chromium catalyst. So these reactions are taking place in the presence of catalyst. So these are some examples. and we can say that the catalytic property of the transition metal ions are due to the formation of reaction intermediate with the substrate. By using empty d orbital, these intermediate give reaction path of the lower activation energy and therefore increases the rate of reaction. So this is the main reason for activation energy, and in case of example we can give here that during the conversion of SO2 to SO3, vanadium pentoxide is used as a catalyst, and solid vanadium pentoxide absorb a molecule of SO2 on the surface to form V2O4, and the oxygen is given to SO2 to form SO3. So divanadium tetroxide is then converted to V2O5 by reaction with oxygen. So in this way there is a formation of reaction, and also cobalt salt catalyze the decomposition of bleaching powder, as cobalt can easily change oxidation state from +2 to +3, and therefore it is converted from +2 to +3, and therefore it can catalyze the reaction in the bleaching powder. So cobalt is used as a catalyst. So number of applications are there, and most of the transition metal ions are used as a catalyst, and these are some example of catalytic reaction in which these metal ions are used as a catalyst. So this is the another property, and next property is the formation of interstitial compound. So in case of this interstitial compound, now the transition in this case transition metal form interstitial compound with element like hydrogen, boron, carbon and nitrogen, and the small atoms of this non-metallic element, that is hydrogen, boron, carbon, get trapped in vacant spaces of the lattice of the transition metal ion, and because of this filling of the interstitial spaces, the transition metal become rigid and hard. Because of this metal ion, these elements occupy some spaces in the lattice, and because of that transition metals become rigid and hard. These interstitial compounds have similar chemical properties as the parent metal, but differ significantly in their physical properties, particularly density, hardness and conductivity. For example, steel, cast iron are hard because of the formation of interstitial compound with the carbon. So here these are some example and properties of this formation of interstitial compound, and some properties of interstitial compounds are shown here. After this carbon, nitrogen and hydrogens occupy the space in the lattice, they show these some changes in the physical properties. So important properties of the interstitial compounds are shown here. They are hard and good conductor of heat and electricity. Their chemical properties are similar to the parent metal. Their melting point are higher than pure metals. Their densities are less than the parent metal. The metallic carbides are chemically inert and extremely hard as diamond. Hydrates of transition metals are used as a powerful reducing agent. So these are the properties, and here so we can say that what is the interstitial compound. So in case of this interstitial compound, we can say that so transition metal form interstitial compound with the element like hydrogen, boron, carbon and nitrogen. So formation of such type of compound, and important properties are shown here for this case of the interstitial compound. So addition the introduction of this carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen in the interstitial site of the transition metal ion shows some changes in the physical properties, but chemical properties are almost same. So these are, what are the important properties of this interstitial compound are shown here. So this is another property, and here next property is the formation of alloy. So as we know, what is alloy? Alloy is a mixture of 2 or 3 metals, more than metals. Okay. So alloy, what is alloy? Alloy is a that is the 2 metals can combine. Brass, bronze are the examples where 2 metals can combine and forming the compound. That compound is known as alloy. So we can say that the mixture of 2 or more metals, which are known as the alloy, that is steel, stainless steel, are the mixture of different metals. So in case of formation of alloy, we can say that the transition metal form large number of alloy. This is due to the fact that transition metals are quite similar in size, and therefore the atoms of one metal can substitute the atoms of other metal in its crystal lattice. Therefore, cooling of mixture solution of 2 or more transition metal solid alloy are formed. For example, manganese dissolved in molten iron to form manganese steel. Such alloys are hard, have high melting point, and are more resistant to the corrosion as compared to the parent metal. So here the alloy formed as a relatively hard and possess higher melting point. So there are two types of alloy again now, ferrous alloy and non-ferrous alloy. Alloy are two types. What is ferrous alloy? These alloy have atoms of other element distributed randomly in atoms of iron in the mixture. As percentage of iron is more, they are known as ferrous alloy. So what is in case of ferrous alloy? The percentage of iron is more and therefore it is known as ferrous alloy. Examples of the ferrous alloy are nickel steel, chromium steel, alloys, all steel have 2% carbon. So these are the examples. And what is ferrous alloy? Second is the non-ferrous alloy. These alloy formed by mixing atoms of transition metal other than iron with non-transition. So the name is given non-ferrous. So there is no iron. So alloy are formed by the mixing atoms of transition metal other than iron with non-transition element. For example, brass, which is an alloy of copper and zinc. So in this way, ferrous and non-ferrous alloy have industrial importance. They have number of importance of this compound. So this is the formation of alloy, and two types of alloy, ferrous alloy and the non-ferrous alloy. So here we have seen, and here lastly the uses of alloy. What are the use of alloys? Number of uses are there of this formation of alloy. And first is the bronze. What is bronze metal? Generally we say that, so that bronze metal contains two metal ions. And what are the two metal ions here? And copper and the tin, which contain present in the bronze. So bronze is an alloy of copper and tin, and which is tough, strong and corrosion resistant. It is generally used for making statue, medals, trophies, like that. Second important example is a copper nickel. So copper nickel alloy, which consists of copper and nickel, two metal, used for making machinery parts of the marine ships, boats, that is a marine condenser tubes, like that. So copper nickel used for making marine ships, boats, like that. Parts of that. And third is the stainless steel. We know what is stainless steel, and stainless steel are used in the construction of the that is the outer fuselage of that is construction purpose, and high speed aircraft also, and generally also in household utensil. For that also there are number of utensils are there made up by the stainless steel. And here nickel is another example, and it is an alloy of nickel and chromium, and the ratio is 80-20 and has been developed especially for gas turbine engines. And another example is titanium alloy, withstand stress up to the high temperature and are used in ultra high speed flight for bulkheads, exhaust shores. So these are some examples of uses of alloy which can be used. And different types of, that is bronze, that is brass, are the examples which can be used for number of purpose. And these are some example uses of this alloy. So what is alloy? Alloy is a mixture of two or more metals, mixture of two or more metals, and have number of application. And there are two types of alloy. One is a ferrous and non-ferrous. When iron is in a large quantity, it is known as ferrous, and when it is two mixture are there other than iron, so forming the alloy, first are called non-ferrous alloy. So this is the part that we have seen today. So today we have discussed about the what is the color, why the color is there of transition metal ion, and after that we have seen the catalytic properties. After that, interstitial compounds, why the what is interstitial compound, how they form, how they change the properties, and also lastly we have seen the formation of the alloy and how alloy is formed, what are the types of alloy and what are the uses of alloy. So today we stop here, and we will discuss the important compound of in the next lecture, important compounds of manganese and chromium. That is the MnO2, MnO4, KMnO, that is the potassium permanganate and potassium dicarbonate. Their preparation, properties and uses of these compounds we are going to discuss in the next part. So we have completed the physical properties of first transition series element in case of transition in a transition series element.